everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Wednesday to each and every one of you. Hope you guys are having a great week thus far. But before we get down to today's daily sickness video, I want to say something, and that is, I apologize for yesterday's video. And we're talking about the Patreon video, and I'm not apologizing because it was met with so much criticism, so much controversy. Definitely one of my most controversial videos yet, and I have had a few of them. But not apologizing for the video in of itself, because it is what it is. I don't care. But I want to apologize because that was supposed to be an edited video with an intro and an outro and everything like that, as my edited videos always are. My daily sickness videos, just like this, just me hitting record, saying what I gotta say, hitting stop. Very, very simple. That way I can record wherever I go, wherever I am on the go. Don't even have it on my computer. That's the whole idea. Whereas my other videos, my bonus videos, those I'll always edit on my computer and have, beautiful high definition with an intro and an outro and edit and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Unfortunately, yesterday, it was very late at night. I had the video all edited and everything like that, and like an idiot, I uploaded the raw video. So in the beginning of the video, you see me hit the button and kind of go like, fix my shirt a little bit and get myself comfortable and whatnot, and then start talking, and at the end I'm like, and I pause for a little bit, which is where it would fade, and then I hit like stop. So the video looks absolutely ridiculous because unfortunately I was stupid, wasn't thinking. It was very, very, very late at night, and I was just super tired and just hit upload really quick on my computer, not paying attention to what I was doing, and I clicked on the wrong video and uploaded the raw video instead of the actual edited video. So I do apologize for that. So it's a little embarrassing because if it had been like any other video, I would have just gone like, oh well, it is what it is. But when it's a video like the Patreon video that again was met with a ton of criticism and very controversial, I do kind of feel stupid. I'm a little embarrassed by that because I'm like, man, of all the videos for me to not upload the correct video, to not upload the edited video, it had to be that one. That was kind of a big mistake on my part, but hey, it is what it is. I'm only human. I make mistakes. It happens, and I didn't even realize I did that until like 6 o'clock last night. Had I realized it like in the morning before I even like uploaded the video or something like that, or even if I had just uploaded the video and maybe got a couple hits, I would have taken it down and uploaded the correct video like right away. But yeah, it was like 6 o'clock at night, and I happened to notice that I did that, and I was like, oh crap. So, oh well, it is what it is. Like I said, I'll always make mistakes. But for those of you who are still here today, for those of you who are still supporting Cinema Sickness by watching my videos, thank you very much. I know some people got all upset yesterday over the thought of, a YouTuber possibly making money off of his videos. What? I know, crazy idea. I see it all the time. I told you guys in that video, I was like, this video is going to be met with criticism. I knew it was going to happen simply because every video I've ever seen from somebody on YouTube posting a video like that where they're talking about merchandise you're selling, or they're talking about, here's my address, send me things, if you want, or something like that, or they're saying, hey, I have a Patreon account. People lose their crap over those videos, and it's like the worst thing that's ever happened to people, and their whole entire world just comes to a crashing halt because somebody posted a video like that. Even though it's all optional, it doesn't hurt you in any way. You don't have to participate in it. It's not stopping the videos. It's not making you have to pay for the videos. It's causing no issues to you whatsoever. It is absolutely no concern to anyone whatsoever. It's simply just an option, and if you don't want to participate in the option, that's absolutely fine. You're not losing out on anything if you don't participate. But I don't know, guess some people have problems with that. So anyway, I didn't really want to talk about this too much. I know I'm like 4 minutes into this video now. I really did not mean to go off on this. I do apologize, but I just wanted to clear up and say I apologize for uploading the raw video yesterday as opposed to the edited video, but whatever. It happens. And again, if you're still here watching this video, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your support, whether you're pledging on Patreon, whether you send me a box of stuff, whether you make donations through PayPal, whether you're just simply watching my videos. You don't have to do that. You don't have to pledge on Patreon. You don't have to ever send me anything. You don't have to make a donation on PayPal. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Simply by watching my videos, you're supporting me, and I absolutely love you for it, and you guys are absolutely awesome. It's okay. I'm going to shut up now. 5 minutes in this video, that is way too long talking about something I did not mean to talk about. So let's get down to today's Daily Sickness video. And for those of you who are still here actually watching my videos, you can all click away now because today I have some reviews. I'm like laughing at myself. I know, some reviews for you guys. I know not a lot of people like these videos, but some of you guys do, and I do them for those of you who enjoy these videos. Even I don't really like making these videos, but a lot of you actually like my review videos for some odd, bizarre reason. And even though I'm not really good at them, I don't consider myself a reviewer at all. I'm not a movie reviewer or anything like that. I don't think I'm very good at reviewing movies, but you guys like my videos, and you guys kept asking for them to come back, so I brought them back, and we have one today. So, all right, I'm still rambling on. Let's get down to it. So here we go. Whole pile of stuff I recently checked out. So first thing I checked out, this is actually, well, this was kind of cool. This is the Flying Turns Resurrecting a Legend DVD. This I actually picked up from Knoble's Amusement Resort, which is a really, really cool, it's not really a theme park, it's an amusement park. Here in Pennsylvania, it's about like 2.5 hour drive, 3 hour drive away. It's a little bit of a drive, but totally worth going out there. It's in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania, which is kind of like the middle of Pennsylvania. Absolutely fantastic park. It's this park. It's set in this valley in the woods. It's free admission. Parking's free. Admission is free. You just pay as you go. You buy a book of tickets and you can ride as many rides as you want. So I think the highest ride they have is like $3 or something like that. That's it. You want to ride a roller coaster? It's going to cost you $3 to ride that roller coaster. That's not bad at all. You can go there and ride every ride they have for like $20 or something like that. I mean, it's or every good ride they have. I mean, every non-kiddie ride they had, or every ride an adult wants to ride, you can do it for like $20, maybe a little bit more. Food is dirt cheap. It's just an amazing park. If you're ever in central Pennsylvania and you're near Ellisburg, Pennsylvania, it's kind of around like Bloomsburg, if you know where that is. There's a college there, sort of in that area. If you ever get the chance to go, hit it up. You won't regret it. Absolutely amazing park. I love the hell of it. So when I came across this DVD for $20, yes, I did pay $20 for this, but as I said in yesterday's Daily Sins video when I showed you that I picked this up, where am I going to find this for any cheaper? I don't mind paying $20 for something that I know I will never find for less. I'm not going to pick up a movie that just recently got released for $20 because I know I'm going to find it for $5 or less, in a month or so. I will never come across this for cheap. If I do, it'll be pretty amazing. And of course, I'll kick myself if I do, but it'll be pretty amazing when I find this for cheaper while I'm out and about. So I picked it up for $20. I was perfectly fine spending that money on it, and it was pretty decent. It is a DVD. It's not a DVD-R. Usually, a lot of times you find something like this, it's a DVD-R. No, this is actual legitimate DVD, which I was really surprised by and very happy about. So pretty cool documentary. It's all about the Flying Turns, which is a really cool roller coaster. As you can see, sort of see right there. It's kind of like a, I don't know exactly, what do they describe this as? Do they even say, okay, it's called a bobsled type coaster. And it literally is. It's not on rails. You sit in a car and it goes down this track that's kind of like a bobsled track. It's like this kind of U-shaped track, and that's it. You're in this car that goes around, you go around a curve and it goes up and like banks up on the walls and everything like that. It goes down this hill and around circles and all kinds of cool stuff like that. It's not on tracks. It's a pretty amazing fun ride. It's a very old school roller coaster. They haven't built one of these. They say it's been like a ridiculously long time. I think the 19s, well, not ridiculously long, but I think the 1960s was the last time these rides existed. One hadn't been built since the 60s. So they didn't even know how to build it. There were no plans for it. They had to figure it all out by scratch, how to put this together. And it took a very long time. I've been going to Knoebel since 2003, I believe. And they built this a few years after I started going there, and it took them up until 2 years ago to finally get this built and this up and running. In fact, I think actually last year was the first year they had this up and running. It took them many, many years because they had to get it built. They had to take parts apart, rebuild stuff, figure things out, construct new areas because I think the car wasn't running right. They had to get the carts to work. They were having a huge problem getting the carts to properly run down the track. They had to redesign those a number of times. Very cool. Now, my only downfall with this is I think it skims over stuff too quickly. This is only 60 minutes long. Probably could have been about a good hour and a half. And I know they're not going to want to show this simply because if they show it, it's going to make the people maybe put off a little bit. And that's the fact that they had a lot of trouble with this ride. And literally the carts would come down the track and they'd come flying off the track and they'd flip over and they throw, they have these like those like water jug dummies. If you ever seen them test a roller coaster, they were like throwing those off the coaster and stuff like that. Like they were having huge problems with this ride. That's why it took them so long to get it built. It took a ridiculously long time. It's supposed to be built like in a couple years. It took many years to get this coaster up. And they kind of skim over that. They mention it, but they don't really say all the problems they were having and stuff. And I kind of wanted to see that. I wanted to hear about like all the issues and problems they had going into building this. But I realized, yeah, they probably couldn't show that, because if they did, people would probably be like, I don't want to ride a ride that was like throwing carts around stuff. It's safe now. You know, it meets all the regulations and stuff. You're good going on. And of course, my wife refuses to ride this because she knows all the stories. My best friend, his uncle actually works at Knoebels, and he was there watching, you know, the cars get thrown off and stuff like that. He knows everything that went down, told us all the stories. So my wife refuses to ride this ride. I've been on it multiple times. I love this ride. It's a lot of fun. If you're a coaster fan, it's worth going out to Knoebels just to ride the only one of these coasters in existence in the world. It's awesome. So this is a pretty good documentary. Like I said, it wasn't the best. Could have been longer. Could have gone into more detail. I feel like just skimmed over the building of it. This could have been like an hour and a half, 2 hour long documentary where they could have really got into detail, tell you every little detail that went into building this coaster. But that's kind of the way I always feel about documentaries. I always just want to see like every last bit of detail. I always feel like every documentary I watch is usually too short. I want to know more. I love documentaries. I want more information. So for what it is, it's pretty cool. It's worth the $20 if you're into coasters. I enjoyed it, but like I said, could have been better, but still definitely enjoyed it. All right, next thing I checked out, I only have a digital copy of, so I can't physically hold up and show you, and that is Wedding Ringer. The Wedding Ringer. I really liked this movie. I didn't quite know what to think of it going into it. I mean, I was like, all right, Kevin Hart, that's a plus. I find him very funny, but I wasn't quite sure what this movie was going to be. Turned out to be a great comedy. Enjoyed the hell of it. Kevin Hart, he plays, like I said, the Wedding Ringer. Basically plays a best man to people who do not have friends. If you do not have friends, if you're a complete loser for some reason or another, you do not have friends, you do not have somebody who can be your best man, he steps in. You hire him, he plays anybody you want. He can be any guy you want him to be. He comes up with this whole elaborate story. He can get you a groomsmen. He can set up all this stuff that you need to do. He'll throw you a bachelor party. He'll just do everything that a best man would do, but you're paying him to do all this. And it's pretty funny. Of course, in the end, he becomes friends and all that stuff with the groom and whatnot, and everything kind of works out, and he sort of realizes maybe this isn't really what he wants to be doing with his life, and blah, blah, blah. Typical kind of happy ending. You sort of see it coming. But it was a very funny movie. Very enjoyable. Definitely better than I expected. And apparently a lot of you guys thought the same thing. A lot of you guys left comments at simsickness.com and on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot saying that you were pleasantly surprised by this movie and it was better than you expected. I would completely agree with that. Definitely better than I was thinking it was going to be. I wasn't necessarily thinking it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was and as enjoyable as it was. And I'm definitely looking forward to watching it again. This is definitely a movie the wife is going to enjoy, and I already told her about it. I'm like, we should watch this movie together. You're going to love it. I'm already in the mood to watch it again. It was very funny. Let's check it out. So we'll probably be watching it again really soon. So check out The Wedding Ringer. Very good comedy. If you like modern day comedies, it is worth seeing. All right. Then another one you guys had a lot of good things to say about, and I would totally agree. That is Afflicted. I went into this thinking, okay, zombie film. I mean, I saw the front, I saw the back and everything like that. Boy, was I surprised when this turned out to be a vampire movie, which I loved. I can't say I'm sick of them because I still buy like every one I come across, but so many zombie movies out right now. Everything is zombies, 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 zombies. That's all we see nowadays. There's like every week there's like 52 zombie movies put out. Okay, fine. I love them. They're cheesy. They're great. I do enjoy them, but it's refreshing to see basically picture a zombie movie but with a vampire take on it. I love it. This guy gets bit by a vampire and it starts taking him over, and him and his friend have to figure out like what's going on. They're trying to figure it out. He ends up killing his friend at one point, and I love the scene where he tries to kill himself, and of course it doesn't work because he's a vampire. All this stuff that just goes down with becoming a vampire and whatnot, and the craziness that ensues, and it kind of felt like I was watching a zombie film where somebody was slowly being turned to a zombie, which we've seen a million times before in movies. It's like that, but with a vampire. And of course, he's trying to track down the vampire who turned him and whatnot, which is my only problem with the movie. At the very end of the film, she basically says, like, turning him was a mistake. She never meant to do it. She even says, like, why would I want to inflict anybody with what I had to deal with? Because she hates being a vampire. A lot of vampires tend to do in these movies. She hates being a vampire. She hates, the curse that was brought upon her, and she wouldn't want to do that to anybody else. And then at the very end, he goes, like, why did you do this to me? And she goes, because you were dying. I thought I was going to help you. And I was like, didn't you just say you didn't mean to do this? It was an accident. You never meant to turn him. And now you're saying that you meant to do it because he was dying and because he had a brain problem. Now you're saying that you meant to do it? Like, maybe I missed something there. You guys can clue me in on that one. I don't know, but I was like 2 seconds ago, you just said you didn't mean to. And now you're saying you totally meant to do it. I didn't really get that part. But regardless, great film. If you like zombie films, if you like vampire films, check this one out. Again, it's not a zombie film, but it has that feel of a zombie film. But we get vampires here instead. This was a fantastic movie. A lot. Smack myself in the face. It was so good, I want to bang myself in the face with this thing. You guys said it was great, and I completely agree. And that's the reason why I had to sit down and watch this right away. Because when I picked this up, I got a ton of comments from you guys saying how great this movie was. I agree. Afflicted. Check it out. All right, and then I watched The Imitation Game. Yeah, I was in the mood for some World War II, like, Nazi movies, I guess. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I watched The Imitation Game. Great movie, all about breaking the the Nazi code back in World War II, and very interesting to see the process it went through of them breaking this code and just the craziness that went into that, how hard of a time they had to do that, and all the stuff they had to go through to figure out how to break this code, and of course, eventually doing it, as we all know. I loved every character in this movie. They were all fantastic, extremely well played. The acting was brilliant in this film. Loved it to death. If you are a history buff, if you just like a good drama, this is one to check out. I love the scene where they basically realize that they can't just start breaking these codes. They can't just go, all right, we're going to break every Nazi code that comes through, because they realize that if they do that, the Nazis are going to catch on very quickly that, okay, the Americans or whoever, they're English in this case, whoever have, they've broken the codes. They're going to know, and then they're going to make new codes, and you're going to be back at square one having to break new codes again. So basically they realize that they have to just they're going to break every code, but they're only going to act upon as many as they can, just the ones they need to act upon, the ones that truly let them win the war. And I thought that was very well done, very interesting, very cool of the people to realize that this is what they had to do, that they had to only break certain codes. They couldn't break them all. They're gonna have to let people die. Unfortunately, people will need to die. Battles are going to be lost. Ships are going to be sunk. Planes are going to come down. It's what's going to happen. In order to win the war, we have to let a bunch of people die. It's a shame, but otherwise we're not going to win this war. And obviously we did. So very, very cool. I loved it. How truthful is it? I thought there were some parts of this movie where I was like, all right, some of these little things that are happening here and there seem very, very Hollywood. I don't know for a fact. I don't know the true story of all the characters in this movie and whatnot. But when it comes to movies like this, these like historical movies, you gotta take them with a grain of salt. You gotta realize, okay, this is all based on a true story, but some of this is probably Hollywood, and there were definitely parts in this where I questioned it. But regardless, great story. I know a lot of you feel the same. A lot of you guys left great comments on it. Check out The Imitation Game if you haven't seen it. Really good watch. All right, so then some more Nazis here with The Reader. I didn't even realize this movie had anything to do with Nazis whatsoever, but hey, Kate Winslet apparently ran a bit of a concentration camp. Yeah, so interesting movie about a young boy, and Kate Winslet falling sort of in love. The boy kind of falls in love with her, and I don't blame him. It's Kate Winslet. I would fall in love with her too if I ran into her and she started coming on to me. Definitely. So they kind of fall in love. Turns out she has this like kind of thing. She doesn't know how to read, so she kind of has this thing for people reading to her. Even in the concentration camp, she did that. So very interesting to see this boy and her have this relationship, and then it gets broken off. She ends up leaving and whatnot, and then she ends up getting tried for war crimes, and he's becoming a lawyer. He ends up going to the trial, not realizing at all that she's part of this trial, seeing her, realizing what happened, what she has done, and kind of showing her a little bit of mercy and whatnot. And Great drama. Really enjoyed this one as well. Lots of nudity in this movie. Jeez, oh man, get used to the nudity in this movie. It's, every now and then it just really sticks out. You're like, wow, that's a lot of TNA, and there's plenty of it in this movie. But hey, that's your thing. There you go. So I enjoyed The Reader. I thought it was a great watch. Definitely worth checking out. Another great drama. See this one. All right, then I broke it up a little bit by finishing up The Middle, Season 4. I love this show. The Middle is a fantastic sitcom. I absolutely love it. Of course, Patricia Heaton. How can I not like anything with her in it? It's just a beautiful woman. So great. Extremely funny. Every season gets funnier and funnier. Definitely the funniest yet. Interesting season where you have Axel and whatnot. He's graduating high school. He's going to go off to college now. I've not seen any episode past this, so curious to see how that goes. But he's going to go off to college. Things are changing in the household, in the Hex household. And great, just another fantastic season. If you haven't seen The Middle, check it out. I was ashamed that I didn't get into this right away because it's a great series that everybody must see. I love Brick. Brick is just slowly becoming my favorite character of the entire series. He started out kind of just like whatever, but as seasons go on, he gets just better and better and better. One of my favorite scenes in this is him and Dave Foley. Dave Foley is playing a guidance counselor and telling him that he needs to make friends with people his own age, kids his own age. So Brick comes back basically saying like, well, the whole reason for me making friends with kids is so that in the future I can make, I have the skills to make friends with adults. Well, all my friends right now are adults, so doesn't that mean that I'm technically ahead of the curve? And I love Dave Foley. His comeback is awesome. He could have just gone like, yeah, I guess, or something like that. But no, he comes back with, yeah, or how's he say it? He goes, yeah, in theory. I thought like just something about, I don't know if he ad-libbed that or if that was written that way, but whoever wrote that line or came up with that line is genius. The fact that he said in theory, I know it sounds trivial, but it was a perfect way to come back with that. And then, of course, Brick's like, well, then why do I need to make friends with kids my own age? And Dave Foley has no answer to it. I love that scene. It's great. So again, see The Middle. It's a fantastic show. Love the series. Can't wait to see Series 5. All right, then back to the Nazis with Unbroken. All about, it's just the unbelievable true story of, and I forget his name already, Louis Zamperini. Am I saying that correctly? He was an Olympic runner who ended up going into the war, and holy crap, did he suffer a lot. For instance, being stranded at sea for over a month, that is insane. Like, how for the amount of time he was stranded at sea blew me away. I can't imagine just floating in the ocean for that long and barely surviving on such a small amount of water, catching fish, doing everything you can possibly do to survive. And then at the end of, they were even shot at one time. A plane flew over, I guess a Japanese plane flew over, shot at him and stuff like that. Everything you have to do to just barely hold on to your life. And then finally, when rescue comes, it's a Japanese warship. So, needless to say, they get thrown to a not concentration camp, like a Japanese POW camp. And all the craziness they go through with that. And just watching, I forget his name is already, Lewis, watching him just, getting the crap beat out of him. And of course, he becomes kind of like the whipping boy for the Japanese commander, whatever, in charge of the camp. He ends up becoming his whipping boy, and of course, just releases all his fury upon Lewis, and it just again the craziness that he goes through, and everything he has to go, just the insanity that he has to go through, and that he's faced with, and then of course his I felt pain in myself when I watched it when the Japanese commander leaves that camp and goes off. He gets promoted and goes off to another camp. They end up having to leave that camp and go to another camp. Hey, guess what camp they go to? The one that leader got promoted to. And it's just like, you could just see like the look in his face of just like, why are you doing this to me? Like, Are you kidding me? Like, how bad could my luck possibly be? But of course, he survives all this, and it's great. I love this movie. You want to see somebody go through the worst experience you could possibly go through in your entire life? See this one. It was insane, and I loved it. All right, then broke it up a little bit more with Life of Crime. Decent movie. I mean, I wasn't blown away by this one. Simply just some people, they decide to kidnap the wife of somebody who's very rich and hold her for ransom. And of course, he's already planning on getting a divorce. He's cheating on her. He doesn't want to go through with it and whatnot. And it's just their plans kind of get screwed up. And of course, the wife joins in kind of and comes back and ends up extorting the husband. And it's a decent watch. It was okay. It didn't blow me away. It was all right. Is it worth checking out? Yeah, if you like a decent crime story, it is worth checking out. Again, it didn't blow me away. It wasn't fantastic. It was just all right. But it is worth seeing if it's something you want to check out. Hey, back to Nazis. The Pianist. So, another great movie of somebody who going through some really rough crap. Man, you feel so bad for everybody in World War II. Except for the Nazis, I guess. But besides that, you feel really bad for everybody. All the Americans, even the Russians, I guess, Europeans, the Polish Jews, German Jews, everybody, just absolutely crazy, all the stuff they had to go through. And the first half of this movie, or maybe like the first quarter of this movie, I could barely get through it. Really, really difficult to watch, because they really stick it, to you and show you what all these Polish Jews had to go through, and especially when they show the children. I tell you guys, for those of you who have kids, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't and may have kids in the future, be prepared. When you start watching movies with children in it, you're going to go from, oh, that's horrible, that feels bad, but whatever, I can keep watching, to the point where you almost want to turn a movie off when you see a child going through something bad, because the first thing you start thinking of, you start picturing every kid who's going through something bad, every kid who's suffering and about to die, and every kid who does die. You picture your kid's face on that kid. You picture that kid as your kid, and they show that a lot in this. I mean, the scene where the mother's running around with the child who is basically about to die. She just needs to give the kid some water. Nobody has water to give the kid. I mean, things like that. The mother who suffocated her baby because he was crying and they were trying to hide from the Germans. Hard to watch. But at least the next 3/4 of the movie aren't quite as hard to watch. Still hard to watch, but not quite as hard to watch, because then we start focusing completely on Adrian Brody and just him trying to survive the war. He doesn't go off. His family gets sent to concentration camps. He does not. He ends up staying behind, hiding from the Germans, and in the end, coming out. I like at one point where he sort of kind of befriends a German, which was interesting, and I guess they do point out at the end that I guess that was a true story. I don't know, but very, very interesting movie. Again, very hard to watch the first quarter. The second quarter, not that I'm saying the last 3 quarters are easy to watch either. It's pretty crazy the stuff Adrian Brody goes through, but I guess I can take it more when it's just you're watching one guy suffer. It's crazy. It's insane. It is what it is. You feel really bad for the guy. You certainly like, what a horrible, horrible story, but you can kind of deal with it a bit more than when you're watching like so many people go through the same thing, and especially children. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, really hard to watch the first quarter of this movie. I almost turned it off. I've never done that with a movie. I almost did. I almost was like, I don't know if I can watch this. I want to cry watching this movie. But it was great. Watch The Pianist. Fantastic movie. Yes, it's my first time seeing it. A lot of people were like, it's your first time seeing The Pianist? And when I mentioned I was watching at simsickness.com, yes, my first time seeing this movie. I know. I know, this movie is very well known. Won a boatload of awards. Everybody loves this movie. Yeah, I finally got around to watching it. It was great. Check it out. Right. Then I had some fun watching a Video 8 with Leap of Faith. Had no idea what to think of this going in this one. It's a Steve Martin movie, so I didn't know, was it going to be straight up comedy? What kind of movie was this going to be? And it was very interesting with Steve Martin playing a kind of a crooked scam artist of a minister. He goes around with a traveling ministry, kind of like almost like a circus, where he's got this big tent up and they bring everybody in. He has all these tricks and whatnot to get people to basically donate money, and they make a boatload of money just traveling from town to town to town with this traveling church, this traveling ministry. And, you know, he's the guy who's all, you know, the big chorus behind him, dancing around, all the music and stuff, and you know, grabbing people by the head and shaking them and go, you're healed, and you're healed. And of course, he has people set up in the crowd who, you know, don't have anything wrong with them, but, you know, they're like, oh, you're healed. Look, you can stand up in a wheelchair now. Like, at one scene, he has a woman who can walk perfectly fine, but she's an older lady. So they say, oh, you know, why don't you sit in this wheelchair? We'll take you up front, and, you know, you can be more comfortable sitting in the wheelchair. And she's like, oh, thank you. That's very polite. And of course, that's when the people they bring up on stage, they wheel up on stage, and they're like, oh, come on, you can walk, get up. And she gets up and starts walking. Well, she could always walk. You know, things like that. He's got this, he has like a little, I guess it's a sponge he cuts up in the shape of a cross, and he puts like glow dye on it, and he's like touching people's foreheads and saying like, oh, you're healed, you're healed. And then he has like a black light glowing on him, and you can see the cross on their head, and like, oh, it's the sign of the Lord. Things like that. He's a scam artist, but in the end kind of realizes that, you know, what he's doing is wrong, all because of a boy who actually who cannot walk. And he gets up on stage, and he kind of like freaks out because you know, he's up on stage, and what's he gonna do? He knows he can't heal this boy. He knows he doesn't have any powers to heal this kid, and everybody's gonna know that he's, you know, a scam artist, and, you know, and he's also like falling in love with the kid's sister, and he's like, what's he gonna do? And the kid ends up walking, and of course Steve Martin's like, did I just literally witness a miracle right here? Doesn't know what to make of it, kind of freaks out, and just realizes what he's doing is wrong, and goes on with his life, no longer being the scam artist that he used to be. And it's a great story. Definitely a good watch. Really enjoy this one. Also, you got Liam Neeson as a cop trying to put an end to Steve Martin's ways and get him out of town. He's trying to, you know, bring him down and call him out and whatnot. And great watch. I did enjoy this one. It's not a straight up comedy. It's not, I mean, it's got some comedic moments, but it's not, you know, some straight up diehard Steve Martin comedy as I was thinking it was going to be. But it's still a good watch. Definitely check it out. All right, then I checked out I Am Reed Fish, which I didn't know what to think of going into this one either. I had never even heard of this movie, and it's definitely a decent movie. If you've ever this movie kind of, okay, I'd say this movie hit home a little bit. Reed Fish is about to marry the love of his life here, which, oh my god, if I was about to marry Rory from Gilmore Girls, I would not do what he did. He ends up, okay, in all fairness, they don't really get along perfectly. So, all right, fine, but I don't care. It's Rory from the Gilmore Girls. If I wasn't already married, I'd marry her in a heartbeat. So anyway, I know, getting off topic there. So anyway, so he's about to marry her and whatnot, and he ends up actually cheating on her with somebody he actually used to be in love with back in the day. Comes back into town, you know, she went to college, she goes back into town, he ends up kind of falling for it again, cheats on his fiance, lets her know that, and of course they break things off, and the whole town like comes down on him, because it's a very small little town. They all come down on him. He runs like a radio station that his dad used to run, who died in a car crash. The whole big story there, I'm not going to get into that too much, but needs to say his fiance's parents were also in that car as well. So people kind of look at him as his dad. They're always comparing him to his dad, and he kind of just gets sick of that as well. And he's so sick of everybody, you know, beating on him because he cheated on his fiance and whatnot. And he just, it's a whole big mess. And if you're like me and you've ever cheated on somebody you probably shouldn't have, I had a girlfriend back in high school, who we were dating for like 4 years. And yeah, I foolishly cheated on her, whatever, stupid high school kid, it happens. But, you know, you see, you know, how bad of a mistake that could be. It's not like you cheat on somebody who you've been dating for like a month or something like that, you know, whatever, no big deal. But someone you actually have invested time in, you have a really good, big, huge relationship with, you know, something meaningful with, and then you cheat on them, and then like it was a really bad idea to do that. It kind of hits home, and since I had done that, it kind of hit home. I kind of saw myself and Reed Fish a little bit, and was like, wow, what a stupid mistake. You see that stuff, but of course, everything sort of does work out in the end, as, hey, it did for me. I got a beautiful wife and a beautiful kid now, so of course, everything did work out in the end for me as well. But decent movie. It is one of those movies within a movie story, which is, I don't know. I thought maybe that part could have been, maybe that part was a bit much. I didn't really know if this needed to be a movie within a movie. When they, all of a sudden, they like cut to this part where like, because you don't realize at first. So the first part of the movie, it's not, you don't even know it's a movie within the movie. And then all of a sudden they cut to like this movie being shown, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? And I'm like, is this like a joke? Like, what's going on? And no, it turns out movie within a movie, which, it works. It's not bad. I just don't know if it really needed to be done, but I loved it. Thought it was a decent watch. Some of you guys leave comments saying you thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I would recommend checking this one out. Like I said, if you've ever been in the situation I've been in where you've had a meaningful relationship with somebody and you cheated on them, or maybe you were cheated on, or something like that, maybe this will hit a little bit closer to home for you. Maybe you'll relate to this movie a bit more. I'd recommend checking it out. I'm Refish. Definitely a decent movie. I'd say see it. And then the last movie here we're going to talk about is The Art of the Steal. This was a great watch. I mean, look at that cast alone. Fantastic. Yeah, so 2 movies. So, great movie. Did enjoy this one. Again, it wasn't anything mind-blowing, but it is a fun crime movie where it's all about Kurt Russell and his half-brother, Matt Dillon, really. This whole group of people were involved in this crime. Matt Dillon ended up ratting Kurt Russell out. Kurt Russell ended up going to jail. And the whole movie ends up being this revenge movie. And I know I'm spoiling stuff for you here right now, so I do apologize for that. So maybe stop watching now if you don't want to you don't want me to spoil this anymore for you guys. But okay, here we go. So the whole movie, you think it's this whole crime movie. You think it's this movie where these group of people are getting back together to commit this big, huge crime. And it's not that they're not. They are kind of. But you end up finding out at the very end that the crime you thought was going on was not really going on. It was all a fake crime, basically to have Matt Dillon put in the jail, to get him caught and get him sent away. And there was this whole big fake crime on him, but at the same time, while they're doing this fake crime, they're also making that work around where the fact that they're stealing this very famous painting from Matt Dillon and basically kind of committing the crime they're trying to commit. It gets confusing. The crime they're all trying to commit, along with Matt Dillon. The crime they're trying to commit with him, they're actually committing the very similar crime without him on the side. And it's very interesting. I love that the twist the twist ending. Thought it was pretty well done. Enjoy the movie. Kurt Russell is fantastic in this movie. Absolutely loved him in this film. So this is one I would definitely recommend checking out, even though I just completely ruined it for you. And I completely ruined the twist ending. You do kind of see the twist ending coming. If you're paying attention, you'll sort of know what's going on. So definitely see this. I thought it was a decent watch. I would highly recommend checking this one out. You can get it for $5 at Kmart right now. Check out The Art of the Steal. Thought it was a decent movie. So, all right, guys, there you go. That was it. That is everything that I've recently checked out. A lot of great stuff. Let's see. I am going to recommend everything I checked out. Yes, everything was definitely a decent watch. I would say, maybe out of everything, these are the 2 weakest, but I would recommend both these movies. Well, maybe these 3 were the weakest out of everything I watched, but I would still recommend them. I thought all 3 of these were decent movies that are definitely worth checking out if you have any interest. But Art of the Steal, see. The Pianist, of course, see that. Unbroken was fantastic. See it. The Reader was great. The Middle, I love the show. Definitely check it out. If you're in the roller coasters or just amusement parks in general, this is worth seeing. Could have been better, but still worth seeing. Again, Wedding Ringer, funnier than I expected. If you like comedies, see it. The Imitation Game, again, fantastic. You all know that, see it. And if you want to see a really good vampire film, check out Afflicted. So, all right, guys, there you go. That is it. So like I always say, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support. You can also support this video by simply clicking the like button down below. Also, you can subscribe either at cinemasickness.com. You can subscribe there. You can also subscribe at YouTube. I do a brand new daily sickness video every single day. So you'll see a new video from me every single day if you subscribe either at cinemasickness.com and or at YouTube. Also, you can support me on Patreon. You simply go to patreon.com/cinema sickness and support me there by simply pledging a donation. I'd really appreciate that as well. Controversy, I know. There's a link either down below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this at cinemasickness.com. Up above, you'll see a Patreon icon. Just click on that. It'll take you right to that website. So I'd really appreciate any support whatsoever. And if you're not already over at cinemasickness.com, you're watching us on YouTube, there is a link down below to cinemasickness.com. You can click on that, head over there, check it out. There's a lot more to see there than just these videos. I post these videos there, but I post so much more as well. Definitely check out cinemasickness.com. You can check out Team Sickness. We have some new members who are going to be joining Team Sickness very, very soon. So if you like my videos, you're going to like the videos from Team Sickness. All you got to do is, I really should grab some water for this video. All you got to do at cinemasickness.com is click on the Team Sickness tab. You can check out all their great videos, reviews, collection updates, and whatnot from those guys and gals. And also, while you're at cinemasickness.com, you can also show some support by simply purchasing, clicking on the merchandise tab and purchasing. Oh my God. Let's finish this video by purchasing yourself a Cinema Sickness hat, a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, satchel, hoodie, tank top, baby gear, kids gear, etc., etc. All kinds of fun merchandise to pick up. And again, I'd appreciate your support there as well. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching, if you weren't turned off by the Patreon video, if it wasn't the end of your absolute world, if your world did not come crashing to an absolute halt after that video, and you're still watching, I love you guys. Thank you so much. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday. See you on Thursday. Bye.